What is up, clean freaks and filthy friends alike? Filthy Dan coming at you for another film discussion, and today we're going to be taking a look at the very divisive sequel to Nightmare on Elm Street. That is right, we're going to be touching on A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. This film was the first in the series to have zero involvement by Wes Craven, and rather than him being involved, it was directed by Jack Shoulder, who had previously directed Alone in the Dark, edited The Burning, and it was written by David Chaskin. And while it's subtitled Freddy's Revenge, it really does little to follow the original film in terms of plot and other basic continuity aspects. It does retain Freddy, it does retain the house, and there are nightmares in that house on Elm Street. So, yeah, it would have worked as a standalone. I feel it's kind of the Halloween 3 Jason Goes to Hell of the franchise, where yeah, it knows that there's film before it. Well, that's not necessarily the case with H3, but anyway, it does little to acknowledge the first film, and it is hardly ever going to be acknowledged in the films that come afterward. Yeah, I would estimate that it would have been a pretty nice, solid, memorable film if it had not had anything to do with The Nightmare on Elm Street, but I mean it was, so we got what we got, and I think it makes it a little more interesting of a film nowadays. So anyway, I'm going to come right out and say that I really, really do enjoy this film. As I had said in my review for the first Nightmare on Elm Street, my parents did own the first two on VHS, and I played the shit out of those tapes. And thinking about it right now, I probably watched the second one just a little more because, I don't know, if I remember correctly, there was a little more of an entertainment value to it. It definitely had more humor. I don't know, there was just something more enjoyable about it. It had a higher entertainment value, I'm gonna say. Um, anyway, this one is about a character called Jesse who lives in Nancy's old house on 1428 Elm, and he's hearing stories at school about, yeah, the girl who lived in that house went crazy, and he starts having nightmares about Freddy, and Freddy's wanting Jesse to take over. He's wanting to take over Jesse's body, have Jesse killing his name to help give him more strength in the real world. And that's a pretty cool little plot angle there. Jesse's love interest Lisa, played by Kim Myers, who is not related to Meryl Streep. um, she's like, "No, Jesse, you're cool. You're not going crazy. You're just psychic." So she's trying to help him figure it out. And I know while Jesse's the main character, I feel like Lisa actually acts more to get the story, like to get results in them throughout the story. Um, and Jesse's he's kind of a passive character, while Lisa is his active character. Um, yeah, this one really upsets a lot of people because it's very polarizing, and part of that I think has to do with it straying from the rules of the universe established in the first film. Now, mind you, this is a sequel to the first film, so it is the first sequel. So it didn't really have much of a canon established at this point anyway. I mean, when you only have 90 minutes to go off of, you still kind of have that, not so much carte blanche, but you have a little slice of that. Just, I have some free reign here to change things up, but I guess the speaks volumes. The first one's so great, I guess, that just changing up a few little rules of the universe piss a lot of people off. But I like this one. I always have. So I guess I can't keep this in the closet much longer, but there is a load of gay, over the top undertones throughout this film. And one of the key things is Freddy's possession of Jesse. That is kind of an allegory of a gay man trying to accept his homosexuality. We got Coach Schneider taking balls to the face, jump ropes, just being bound by the jump ropes. Assume the positions. Um, the dance scene, who could forget that? Touch me, baby, all night long. But yeah, there's a lot more of that stuff sprinkled throughout this film. Funny enough, though, I didn't even notice any of this until about 10 years ago when I went back to rewatch it. And as a kid, I always kind of thought, oh, haha, funny, Jesse screams like a girl. Why is the coach wearing a leather t-shirt? Like, I never understood any of that, it totally went over my head. And I don't know, when I rewatched it about 10 years ago, I was about 15 or 14, and I'm like, watching it, I'm taken aback by this. Like, is this supposed to be coming off like this, or am I just kind of drawing that picture myself? So, of course, after I was done, I went on the internet, and I'm like, AONES2, gay, question mark? But yeah, anyway, the director and Bob Shea and Jack Shoulder both were like, oh, we knew nothing about this. What do you mean there's homo undertones going on here? And I guess the story is that David Chaskin intentionally threw that in there, and I don't know, it screwed with Mark Patton's head. It's very well documented in Never Sleep Again, and I'm pretty sure that the Scream Queen documentary that Mark Patton did touches a little more on that. I unfortunately have not seen that one, but if you want to know a lot of the interesting backstory to this film, definitely watch Never Sleep Again, because it goes in heavy on that. Anyway, all that aside, this film is still pretty enjoyable, and it has a lot more psychology going on with it than the first film, in my estimation, where, yes, naturally dreams are going to be psychological beings, psychological non-beings, but this one plays a little more with the character's mind, not their subconscious. His conscious and subconscious are both under attack in this film, but I don't know, thought I had a good point going there, but I know, I just feel it plays heavier on the psychology than the first film did. Let me know what y'all think about that. Let's talk about some of the supporting cast. I really do like the supporting cast in this film. And we have Rob Rustler as Grady. Kind of remember him as the kind of badass bully kid in that Josh Brolin skateboarding movie, Thrashin'. It might have came after this, I'm not sure, but that movie's something else, neither here nor there. Coach Schneider is played by Marshall Bell. Again, this guy's a fucking sleazebag creep. Jesse's parents. I really like Jesse's parents. Clue Gallagher plays the father, and he's just such a stern dickhead, but he's so freaking funny with like every other one of his line deliveries. That boy needs a good damn kick in the ass. I know what you used. You used a cherry bomb. Fucking. But the mom was played by the wife from Death Wish, with Charles Bronson, so that was pretty cool to see her in here. She made it through this one, so there's that. But yeah, his friend Grady is funny as shit, and he's got an interesting dynamic throughout the whole story. Anyway, the scene where Freddy is coming out of Jesse's body for the first time, that is creepy as hell. I remember seeing that, and like I had to just climb up on the couch, like bring my feet up onto the cushions, like no. I'm not dealing with this right now. But yeah, the effects on that were absolutely amazing. Probably better than any of the effects that I saw in the first film. And thinking off memory, it might be better than most of the effects to follow in the sequels. Um, let's see, the pool party. The pool party, I know, is where a lot of the polarizing of this film comes from, because when Freddy possesses Jesse during the pool party, he goes outside, jumps through a window, heavily interacts with the party guests, and I don't know, I found that scene to actually be really awesome and entertaining. Again, that pissed a lot of people off because it's like, how can he be interacting? But I figure this goes back to the psychology of the film. Is it really Freddy? Or do those party guests see Jesse running around in his fucking underwear screaming like a madman? It's all about how you perceive it. You could look at it one way or another way. There's just a few ways you can look at that. Um, but yeah, that scene was pretty cool. Help yourself, fucker. Um, what was with those Happy Death Day dogs at the climax? What the fuck was that? I had heard theories that those dogs with the baby masks were supposed to be Grady and Schneider. It's like, if you're gonna be doing dogs with the faces of the victims, what happened to like the other 10 people who died at that pool party? Anyway, but yeah, the climax of this film was really cool. It goes back to the little power plant, boiler room, whatever, where Freddy used to work. And here's where Lisa again becomes the active character. She takes the plot by the balls and faces down Freddy slash Jesse, and she defeats Freddy by kissing him. I guess straight love conquers gay urges is what that was all about. But yeah, that causes Freddy to catch on fire and melts in a very Raiders of the Lost Ark way, and that's a really cool effect actually. That just goes to show that this one, it has some goofy effects, but it really does have some of the nicer effects in the series, I think. Um, but yeah, this film also has the coolest looking Freddy, because he's got a very wet look to him, and it's like he looks still like the burn victim that we saw in the first film, but there's just that running moisture going down his face, and I don't know, it almost looks like, yeah, he got burned in the first one, but now his burns are getting infected in this one. But yeah, the weird part is the little sausage fingers, because I think the glove they were using was stolen during the production of this film, so they just had to make do with what they had and kind of just put burn makeup on his hands, and I don't know, that kind of ties in with the whole possession angle anyway, I feel. Um, I do like also it's during the title credits when you see Robert Englund driving as the school bus driver, right when it shows his face and he just kind of salutes the camera. It says Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, like right when he's kind of giving his wink to the camera. I thought that was always a cool little touch. Like, I know that guy. But yeah, I thought that title card was pretty cool. I don't hear people talk about title cards a whole lot, but there's like a blue steel effect to when it says Freddy's Revenge. It's like black with a blue little tint going on with it. I just thought that was really cool looking. And that like metal clanging sound too really adds to that. Anyway, the favorite kill. The favorite kill in this one has to go to Grady, and it's not so much for really how he dies, but it's everything else surrounding it. The whole Jesse Freddy transformation, the fact that Grady's parents are just outside his door as he's being murdered. Like that's got to fuck any parent up. I don't think I'm alone assuming that. But yeah, he just kind of, all he does is really chokes him and stabs him with the finger blades. Like, we don't really see him getting stabbed, but we do see his facial reaction. But again, for me, it's not really the way he dies, it's just all the stuff around it. In terms of smut for this film, for the smutty sightings we have, oh my god, where to begin here? Let's just start with Jesse and Lisa nearly getting it on in the cabana. They tease you with a nice little sex scene, but of course, Chaskin's undertones and Jesse Freddy's Gene Simmons tongue kind of jumping in the way of that. Let's see, there's also a lot of gratuitous man-ass in this film. Yeah, the shower scene where Schneider's getting his, he gets fucking rat-tailed a few times, and when they're playing fucking baseball, kind of pulls Jesse's pants down. So do the gratuitous shots of a sweaty Mark Patton in his briefs count as a smutty sighting? It's my channel, I will say yes, they do. Let's see, favorite dream sequence. Now this one has a lot of dreams going on. This probably has the highest number of dreams in the series if I think about it. But my favorite is and always will be the opening dream on the bus. I mean, hands down, that is fucking the scariest thing this movie has going for it. And there's a lot of scary shit in this film anyway. But yeah, I can't see a school bus nowadays without thinking, oh my god, that motherfucker's about to go off-road and about to fall into the fucking fires of hell. And it really sets the tone for the film too. And when you see the version of Jesse on the bus, he's very, I don't know, he looks a little stocky and geeky. And when he wakes up, you see, oh no, he's actually the slender, pretty boy. So that already kind of sets an expectation that you're not really gonna be knowing what to expect throughout the film based off of that transition, I feel. Okay, and the spotting Shay. Now, only Bob Shay appears in this one, and we'll see Bob Shay as the leather-clad BDSM bartender when Jesse has that little dream sequence where he goes to the gay bar and he asks for 1 beer, please. And Bob Shay's just there like, yeah, I got you, boy. Freddy's quips in this film, the Freddy Quipper. This one, there's a couple good choices in here. I almost was about to say the body brain one when he just cocks his glove. Jesse, you've got the body, I've got the brain. But I have to go with, and this one's probably everybody else's favorite Freddy one-liner in this film, and it's at the pool party when he's got the grill burning behind him, throws his arms out. You're all my children now. That line is fucking amazing. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is an awesome addition to the franchise. It's definitely the black sheep. Kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. But if you haven't seen it and you really like a good psychological slasher, and you don't mind having these in-your-face undertones, definitely check this one out. If you don't know if you want to buy it, check it out on Amazon Prime for $4.99, $3.99, I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Did Grady really push his grandma down the stairs? Let me know what you think. Stay filthy, everybody.